Welcome to the Ponderous Brick Thinker. This is a castle update. The update is there's no castle yet. Right now, I am planning on the overall layout of what I'm thinking could be the castle. And I'm doing planning because, one, I want to improve my Lego craft so that I can plan ahead, figure out what I'm going to be doing rather than in my younger days, just spontaneously build something. While it was fun, I have learned other skills in planning, so let's see how those can coincide. And the other thing is, since I now have an audience, planning can more or less lead me to a favorable outcome. There's no guarantees, but still, the great thing about the castle update, it's edited so that I can go back or not. We'll see. And one of the things is that this castle is going to be experienced mostly through the camera, so that while this is perfectly fine, I'm leaning more towards a asymmetrical layout. So I made these sketches so that I can communicate more or less what I have in mind. 3 bases arranged asymmetrically so that, having some terrain and then building on top of that terrain can produce different outcomes. And the other unknown is if I have enough Lego bricks to kind of do a terrain. I am trying to go towards a brown, dark red, tan, dark orange even, to indicate the terrain, and green for vegetation. But I am leaning towards the idea that all of these colors are stones that they got from a quarry, so that I'm still thinking in masonry terms. However, say for example, this can be a building block of the castle and not just terrain because it's a stone from the ground. And that kind of leads me to also green. I'm going to need to differentiate. If I use green as a stone, how am I also going to treat the vegetation, which is also green? And I have a lot of pieces in green, so I'm not really looking towards changing the color, getting more varied color of vegetation. So it's going to be a balancing act. But most than likely, I'm going to keep the browns as the ground, and we'll see if there's any spare pieces that can be used to build the actual castle constructions. And the other thing is I went with a sketch just because, for planning, yes, but I'm not committed to, say, a tower there, a tower there, a tower there. The idea of the sketch is to quickly get my thoughts outside of me, that this is possible is not what I'm going to be doing at this point. But it does suggest that, and I'm leaning more towards this one because there's 2 different hills. One castle can be here, a bridge, and then the rest of the fortifications. And I think that's kind of nice. Here it's mostly spread out all over the terrain, which is okay. And this one came out almost like a croissant, but it's all together, and I think that's what came to mind. But this opportunity, I think I'll take it because I never done that when I was growing up. It was always either a single, I think these are 32 by 32, that it would just went up from there, or I think it was a 64 gray plate. But let's see if I can make it interesting to look at. And so the goals for this one is to make it look fun. It's not a serious castle, but I do want to have some believability into it. So while there is fun, I also want some constraints to kind of inform me, otherwise it can go crazy. And some of my color experiments did go crazy. And so now I'm going to form a team of Lego people who are going to reside in the castle, and it's going to kind of inform the construction. Not necessarily that, hey, I know this character and here's that tower, that character owns that tower. No, it's more like it's influenced the castle design. We'll see how that goes. So the first person on this team to be revealed is Logan. See if I could get closer. There we go. Beast. Wolverine. Chewbacca. Lego person from Cozy House. Then we have Rada Quaritch. Let's see if we can put here. It's tall enough. Okay, and then Saraya here. Storm there, and finally Beta. Now, the purpose of this team, I do not know yet. Maybe in the construction of the castle I'll find out what that might be. But, so, let's see what's next. Oh yes, the constraints. So we have this team that is going to live in this castle and what the castle is made for. The other opportunity is to say that there's an older construction, it might have been in ruins, and they came in and built it up according to their liking. And that might be good exploration. So I'm thinking of going that route. And, oh yes, let's see. Where did I put them? Ah, yes, right here. So from the Cozy House set, these were part of the set, but they were regulated just to the base of the Cozy House. They had no prominent place, and I guess I found it so offensive that I said I would put it in my next major build, a castle. So this also is a question as to how I'm going to use green in construction and vegetation. Depending on where it is, it can be used in some fashion. So I'm going to use these pieces somewhere in a prominent place. The other thing also from the Cozy House, I would say that this is a pretty good size or minimal size because it is, it's small, but also I wouldn't go smaller than this. I would say a tower or a building in the castle will have to be at least this small, and it can't go smaller. Otherwise, or maybe attach it a bit just to make it not a rectangle, but it is it's a rather tight fit. So to kind of keep it in mind, a tower is going to be kind of a big block right here or somewhere there. So it is not going to be towers everywhere. It's going to be a little bit mindful that this is the smallest piece or the smallest space for a room. So that way it can be, kind of believable. And so that's it for the constraints and goals. I guess I'm going to get started getting all my browns and start trying to build up, or at least trying to do 2 hills. The other thing is also, since all the colors are from the ground, I could have some of the primary, or not the primary, but just the other colors as part of the hill. But I just wonder, how I'm going to differentiate. Here's the building, here's the ground. It might be with just texture, maybe only smaller pieces and the larger pieces are the construction, or vice versa. Just so that if I need to go up a little bit more on the hill, and I don't think I'm going to have enough brown, then I'm going to have to rethink that. That's the other thing. I could probably use a 3D software, but I think I'll go, once I build this, I'll have a better understanding of how many Lego bricks I have and what I can do with them. And also kind of, once I've get so far along, I'm realizing, oh, I'm not using this piece, or I'm not using this color. It also gives me an idea of where I need to work on. If I'm relying too much on one kind of piece or one kind of color or certain colors and I'm ignoring others, um, then I can work on that with a sketch or something to kind of, I would like to use all of my Lego collection, just because, yeah, they are expensive, but also it's part of the challenge that not every piece is going to be a perfect building block for a castle or any kind of construction or project, so that it will keep me on my toes if I try and use as much of my collection as possible, and try and make it look interesting and logical with this team, which I have not determined the purpose of. Um, so I'm gonna get started now.